every Mario Kart game has that one character that I'm like, I wish they weren't really in the game, and I wish somebody else was in instead. So that's exactly what I'm doing. I'm going to replace one character from every Mario Kart game with another one of my choosing. Which character will I put into each Mario Kart game? Let's find out. Starting off with Super Mario Kart, there's only 8 characters in this game, and I feel like the obvious choice to remove from this game is Koopa Troopa. It's just a standard basic enemy, so if I'm going to remove Koopa Troopa, and I kind of want to put another enemy back into Super Mario Kart because that would just make Bowser the only villain character in the game, I'm going to put another enemy back in there. We're going to Hammer Bro. Hammer Bro makes the most sense because Hammer Bro's the next second in command to Bowser as an enemy character. In Super Mario Bros, he was literally the last enemy you faced before going up to face Bowser, if you don't count like the Podoboos or whatever. So Hammer Bro, I think, makes the perfect counter to Koopa Troopa and really should have been in Super Mario Kart instead of him. Mario Kart 64, again, has a pretty iconic roster, has the basic standard 8 characters that you come to know and love with every Mario Kart game at this point, but if I had to take out one character from this game, I'm removing Donkey Kong. And no, I'm not going to put Kamek in. That would be the easy choice because we all know Kamek was supposed to be in Mario Kart 64 instead of Donkey Kong. No, I'm going to make the even easier choice, and I'm going to put in Donkey Kong Jr. over Donkey Kong in Mario Kart 64 because Donkey Kong Jr. does have a playable appearance in a Nintendo 64 game, that being Mario Tennis 64. He was also previously playable in Mario's Tennis on the Virtual Boy, which came out just a couple months or a year or so before Mario Kart 64 released as well. So DK Jr. did have a couple of playable appearances surrounding Mario Kart 64, so I feel like it only makes sense for DK Jr. to continue his Mario spin-off playability and become playable in Mario Kart 64. Next up is Mario Kart Super Circuit, and it has the same 8 characters as Mario Kart 64, so it made it a little bit tricky on who to replace. I can't replace the same character, so DK's not getting out of here in this game. Instead, I'm going to remove Wario from Mario Kart Super Circuit, and I'm going to replace him with another interesting character, a villain from Super Mario Bros. 2. We're going Wart. The reason I went with Wart is because, in my opinion, the Game Boy Advance was really hammering home the Super Mario Advance series, and the first Super Mario Advance was a remake of Super Mario Bros. 2 with Wart as the final boss. So I feel like that sort of connection there can make Wart eligible to be a playable character in Mario Kart Super Circuit. Mario Kart Double Dash is next, and it has a pretty solid roster of characters. This is a unique game because it has a double character mechanic, so if I had to replace one character, I got to replace it with a character that would still match that character's partner in Double Dash. So who's a character that I should probably take out? You might be upset at me, but I'm gonna go with Paratroopa. I love Paratroopa, but he hasn't appeared in a Mario Kart game after this, and I'm just thinking, did Paratroopa really need to be in Double Dash? I don't know. So who would Koopa's new partner be? I'm actually gonna go with Goomba. I think Goomba would be a great complement to Koopa Troopa. I heard some other YouTuber talk about this pairing before. I don't remember where it was from, but I think it really makes sense to have Koopa and Goomba, the two most iconic enemies from the original Super Mario Brothers, the two enemies you encounter in Super Mario Bros. World 1-1. It makes sense for them two to be a pair, to be partners. Next is Mario Kart DS, and I had a really hard time picking a character to replace in this game because honestly, DS has a pretty solid roster for only 12 characters. I really wanted to get rid of Waluigi initially, but then I remembered that Waluigi has a track in this game, Waluigi Pinball, so I felt like maybe removing the character from the game and leaving the track in wouldn't make any sense. So I went a different direction, and I know some of you might not like this choice either, but I'm gonna remove Daisy from the game because Daisy doesn't have a track in Mario Kart DS. As much as I like Daisy, out of the 12 characters in that game, I feel like Dry Bones and Rob, they're such iconic characters for DS in particular that I wanted to leave them. And if I were to replace Daisy with a character, I would replace her with another villain character. We're gonna go Bowser Jr., a simple choice, but I really like Bowser Jr. And Bowser Jr. is a fun character that you see, of course, in the opening cutscene of New Super Mario Bros. On the DS, so he already has a DS appearance. I know some of you are thinking, wait, why not EGAD? EGAD was supposed to be playable in DS. I'm not really trying to go for characters that were supposed to be playable in the game because I think that would be way too easy to go with. So yeah, while EGAD could be a very good pick for someone to be included into a game like Mario Kart DS, I wanted to go with someone completely different that maybe wasn't considered at the time, so Bowser Jr. it is. Next up is Mario Kart Wii, and I'm looking at it right now. I didn't intend to do this, but it's kind of weird how this happened. So I got rid of Daisy in Mario Kart DS. In Mario Kart Wii, I'm getting rid of Baby Daisy. As we all know, Baby Daisy debuted as a character overall in Mario Kart Wii, so I think it's only makes sense that we could push Baby Daisy's overall debut to Mario Super Sluggers, and Baby Daisy could be out of Mario Kart Wii. Instead, let's put in a character that was already a baby before, and let's get Baby DK as a playable character in Mario Kart Wii. Baby DK was in Yoshi's Island DS, and then he ends up becoming playable in Mario Super Sluggers, and then we don't see him ever again. But but I think Baby Donkey Kong made a great character for Mario Kart Wii, especially if Mario Kart Wii is gonna go with the 4 babies at the top. I think Baby DK would have been an awesome character to have instead of Baby Daisy. Next up is Mario Kart 7, and honestly, Lakitu is my least favorite character of the game, but I'm not gonna get rid of Lakitu because I want to save Lakitu for another game. Instead, I'm going to get rid of Honey Queen. Honey Queen was the most bizarre out there choice, but I did like the Galaxy and Galaxy 2 representation, so I kind of want to replace Honey Queen with another character from Super Mario Galaxy and or Galaxy 2. I went with someone that appeared in both games, and I went with Penguru. Yes, the guru elderly penguin from Super Mario Galaxy and Galaxy 2 that you meet in like the Seaside Galaxy and Drip Drop Galaxy in the original games. I know there's probably some other characters from Mario Galaxy that you guys probably would have wanted to be playable instead. I was almost thinking like the Gearmos or maybe even Guppy the Shark. There's so many other characters that could be fun to have, or even the Chimp, honestly. There's a lot of good characters to pick from Mario Galaxy if I were to place Honey Queen. Next is Mario Kart 8 on the Wii U. I initially wasn't going to do this game. I was going to skip right over to Deluxe, but I have a feeling a lot of you would have probably commented on that. So instead, I am going to talk about Mario Kart 8 Wii U. I'm going to talk about Mario Kart 8 Wii U after the initial DLC came out, so we have the bottom row characters available, which is perfect because instead of getting rid of a character like Baby Rosalina or Pinkle Peach, which obviously those are two very easy characters to possibly replace in the game if I was going strictly off the base roster, but the DLC added one character that I really was not a fan with, and you guys probably know who I'm talking about. We're talking about Isabelle. Nah, get Isabelle out of here. Crossover characters are fine. Like Link was a pretty interesting addition, but we did not need 2 Animal Crossing characters. But one character that had some tracks in Mario Kart 8 Wii U but did not have a playable character and only a Misu was Captain Falcon. We're gonna replace Isabelle with Captain Falcon. Captain Falcon makes sense. He looks a little out of place, but so did Link. So honestly, if Link can be playable in Mario Kart 8, then so can Captain Falcon. Captain Falcon has Mute City and Big Blue as tracks in Mario Kart 8 that came out as DLC in that game, so he's gotta be in there as a playable character as well. Now we're gonna talk about Mario Kart 8 Deluxe. This includes all of the characters that were added after the Booster Course Pass, the fully complete roster of Mario Kart 8 Deluxe. One character in the Booster Course Pass that was just kind of weird was Peachette. Now, I like Peachette. Peachette's a chill character. Like, she's fun to use as a nice variant to Peach every once in a while, but we do have a lot of Peach clones in Mario Kart 8 and 8 Deluxe. So I feel like out of all the Booster Course Pass characters that got added, I think Peachette is the safest one to eliminate, and we're going to replace Peachette with a character that was from Mario Kart Tour that I feel like should have desperately deserved a spot in Mario Kart 8 Deluxe, and we are going to go with King Babam. Yes, I feel like it was only fitting for him to become playable in Mario Kart 8 Deluxe. I feel like he would have been a great character. We needed another heavyweight on the roster as well. King Babam would have made perfect sense in that scenario, and he probably would have been a relatively easier character to model. He's similar to King Boo in that they're just giant circles. And last but not least, we're going with Mario Kart World. Mario Kart World has basically 2 categories of characters. You got your main characters, the main 24 characters that can swap into costumes and all that, and then 26 NPC drivers. So we're gonna leave the NPC drivers alone. I do pretty much like all the NPC drivers that we got. We're gonna focus on the main 24 characters. There's one character I'm not a fan of in that game, and that is Lakitu. I mentioned how I hated Lakitu in Mario Kart 7 and would have replaced him, but I wanted to save Lakitu's replacements for Mario Kart World to replace him with another character that I deeply would have wanted to see in Mario Kart World, and that is Petey Piranha. Come on, I love my man Petey Piranha. I think Petey could have had some unbelievably fire costumes. It would have been legendary to see what Petey Piranha could have come up with for costumes, and I think Petey Piranha would have been a great character to play as in Mario Kart World. So crossing my fingers for DLC that Petey Piranha gets added in a future content update for Mario Kart World. Get Lakitu out of there, replace him with Petey Piranha, and that's it. Hopefully you guys enjoyed. Which characters would you replace in every Mario Kart game? Which characters would you replace them with? Let me know in the comments below. I'd love to hear your guys' thoughts, and I hope you guys enjoyed the video. Please subscribe to the channel if you are new. I'm trying to hit 20,000 subscribers before the end of the year. It really means a lot to me to see your support, and I want to shout out my wall of gold members real quick. We got Team Ain, Jesse Wadler, Escape, Sparky Wolf, Milo 108, E for Every Gamer Plus, Rogue 3, Sign Eva, Cats, Jack M44, Cool IB, Sauce, Captain Mudkip, Ritz Games, Lila, and DJ Beecraft. You guys are incredible. All my members are incredible. Thank you so much for your support. It truly means the world to me to have your guys' support. It's very, very overwhelming, but I love it so much. So you guys are very incredible and very, very kind. So thank you all so much. Thank you all for watching this video. It really means the world to me. Hopefully you guys enjoyed it. If you did, feel free to subscribe to the channel. If you're new, stay all pro, and I'm out of here.